So I want to share from Josh Korda's teachings, and there's two parts here. The first is fragility and mortality. He started the functional teaching organization called Dharma Punks. It's a meeting, and he's the teacher, and it meets, and there's also a podcast. Anyway, so fragility and mortality is the scariest for people who strongly identify with the body. 2, addicts, whether it's substances or behaviors, because they're conditioning short-term pleasure and distraction and not prioritizing endeavors. And 3, people who don't live a life that's beneficial to others because we have tribal instincts, which I'll go into in a second. And 4, people who don't have a training practice for inner peace or self-soothing. Now, tribal instincts are for evolutionary survival. This doesn't mean we come, I'm going to make a comment. Evolutionary survival doesn't mean we come from physical beings that are similar to other animals. It means that the ability for life to adapt, to survive, and it's like life protects life. Life's creativity can be used for the creation of more life, but it's through the creator's patterns. So tribal instincts are to allow us to evolve into the best versions of ourselves, because it's where you rely on small groups and concretize these relationships with positive actions like sharing resources from when we collected food together instead of acting only self-interestedly, stingy, and selfish. So, or we would risk being cast out, which is a dire event, because all interactions of our species required collaborative, cooperative efforts, approaches. And there's a brain circuit that punishes us for feeling we've acted totally self-interested and rewards us for being well-connected and helpful. And at any moment, it's possible that it is our last. So these 4 groups, obviously, fragility, mortality, is for all of us to learn from. But I identify as someone who sometimes strongly identifies with my body, or, someone who, I don't always live a life that's beneficial, or sometimes I'm not practicing my trainings for self-soothing, or I might be doing certain behaviors addictively, obsessively. And so we're all working on this, but even someone who's very advanced still has to face this, let alone anybody who may not be 100% feeling secure, the fact that they could die at any moment. So it makes it more memorable and significant when we live like that, though. Situations never appear identically. Each time is the last time. There's an impermanence element to this, which is a lack of guarantee, which is based on, in Buddhism, it's called like noble truths, but like I can get old. Each one says this for ourselves. I can get old, sick, die. Everything that's dear to me is going to be separated. And the only thing I truly own is the quality of my actions. So there's the core psychological drive, especially in childhood, but from birth to death, really, to establish secure attachment and connection for soothing, protection, emotional regulation. And we want it to be reliable connection, attachment, available, interested, attentive, present, and soothing. And appreciation for us, for our developments and our challenges. Doesn't mean like, oh, I'm so grateful. It means, wow, you did this and it was so hard. It's so worthy. And there's a secure base, which is the object constancy. Even when we're alone, we have a felt sense that someone will take care of us and help us recover from scary events or difficulties with peers. And it's us knowing someone will nurture us and help us to make sense of things. And that's the confidence to explore and engage and take risks from the secure base. That was a good stretch. Attachment structures lastingly imprint in the brain. So without a secure base, we're unable to be flexible in our relationships, and we struggle to establish bonds with others. We fail to learn how to regulate emotions by connecting with others, or that our internal experience isn't that unique from others. A secure base establishes what healthy love and friendship is. It could be for life. So, for example, if we weren't allowed to experience anger or had no one to soothe us, then suppressing anger or repressing it will be necessary, and it'll feel scary, foreign, uncontrollable energy that's threatening. And scoring high on insecure attachment is denial is a go-to coping skill, reliance on dead objects like processed behavior, substances, items, objects, versus a caring, empathetic, available human to process the emotions. True love and friendship lowers separation anxiety. Even when they're not there, we know we can reach out during difficulties. They'll respond with a soothing, positive regard that's engaging and appreciative. It lets us develop interests outside the relationship, such as peers or community, and confidence to explore and engage in solo pursuits. So threats to secure attachment are anything like abandonment, shaming, rejection, abuse, and lack of healthy boundaries, which usually a parent doesn't establish or maintain a guiding role. And then we have something called enmeshment. Enmeshment is so overbearing and engulfing that it leads to avoidant attachment, which is where we're guarded in relationships and we have distance-seeking impulses and fear of commitment. It's triggered in adulthood by love and bonds that are expressed, and we'll struggle to auto-regulate our own emotions, and where we couldn't separate ourselves from our parent. And it's like a struggle to assert agency, and it's a hindered resilience to distress, constantly looking to others for reassurance rather than any sense that we can withstand the setbacks. So enmeshment is kind of like this parent's sense of success and failure is attached to the child's performance, the worth, the core self, and the parental presentation is overreactionary and abruptly changing. The parent tries to control and manipulate the child's feelings, but feelings are innate and expressive of one's true self, and so dictating feelings is coercive. It hinders the child's developing a stable self-structure. Instead, it looks always outside for direction on how to feel. Parent relies on child for emotional support, sharing inappropriate intimacy from adult relationships, even overexpression or over-detailing is, in terms of fears about their own security, is considered enmeshment. And also when a parent lacks a good sense of privacy and tries to invade the child's sense of autonomy. I'm so grateful for all this because I feel for me like, it's very relevant. And I'm going to continue part 2 tomorrow. Part 2 is codependency and secure attachment. I hope this is meaningful. Have a blessed day.